3:58 p.m. on Sunday, February 23rd, 2025. This is in reference to video documentation captured on February 23rd, 2024 at 3:46 p.m. So it's 3:58 p.m. So the fake sun is idle, stationary over me at this hour, at this minute in Los Angeles at the specific venue of Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens, where I am inside of this apartment where the demon in unit number 55 is stalking with ongoing amplified noise while I'm walking around inside of the apartment, capturing the impossible light activity that's inside of the apartment, that's framing the wall, the ceiling, and appearing on the well inside, on the floor inside, the magnified size of the patio furniture on the patio door, speaking to a fake sun and engineer light that's not coming down from a sun but shooting horizontally like a laser, and creating the upright magnified size of shadows, and the engineer light that you no longer see. I'm going to show you what I just you no longer see right here at 3:59. Let me show you what I just captured minutes ago inside of the same room. This is speaking to the demonic. Okay, this was 4 minutes ago at 3:55, 5 minutes ago, and now you are looking at what is no longer there. Okay, it's never sunlight in the first place. It's never naturally occurring. And just to prove again, I'm in the same room where I just documented the presence of this engineer light inside of Tracy's bedroom. The blinds are closed. I'm showing you this cascading light along her ceiling. And it's inside of her bedroom where, just so you can see the timestamps, 3:55 and 33 seconds, 3:55 and 38 seconds, meaning I'm just turning my camera to capture another picture of the state of the blinds and the state of presence of the state of engineer light on the ceiling and on the bedroom wall inside of her bedroom, where I'm subject to surveillance. Engineer light is the purpose. This is what covers the property outside. You have a bunch of demons who are cockroaches, and they're all stalking as a society. And what I'm showing inside of the apartment is evidence of what has nothing to do with the fake sun. The documentation of the fake sun is showing how everybody at Woodside, in units 33 through 64 at Woodside are going to prison because they are acting while they're physically surrounding me inside of those apartments in concert with the government, the rest of the property, and also the public, the demons who come onto the grounds gang stalking on a 24-hour basis. The entity is doing so while engineer light is active inside of this apartment, and that's how you have, again, what is the absence of engineer light, where 5 minutes ago, before I started this video, that engineer light was right here, and it's an impossible occurrence. The entity doesn't do anything about the fake sun, though, which is also an impossible occurrence, but I find it laughable as I'm showing you this evidence of what is impossible light ricocheting off of the patio door to appear again over here in the corner. That's engineer light on the side of the wall right here, illuminescing down here. That's engineer light. And on the inside, with the blinds closed, you have what was this light activity while the blinds were closed. Okay, now when you're opening it, that's still impossible light activity. That's concentrated light while you're underneath the shaded structure. Engineer light is also on the floor on the inside of the living room here, where it is. You can see it on the floor on the inside of the apartment. Oh wait, here you go. Away from this is at a distance on the floor on the inside. It's taken on the shape of the bottom of the blinds. That's what engineer light does. It takes on the shape of whatever it's touching. It also creates magnification of size. It also creates multiple shadows of whatever it's touching. This is where the demon in unit 55 is stalking me as I begin taking pictures of what is the fake sun that is still over the same apartment at 3:54 p.m. And I just want to be mindful of what I am documenting on this day in 2024 on what would be February 23rd, 2024, while you are looking at what was documented on this day in 2024 at the same time. So here you go. This is impossible lighting. Hold on 1 second. This is impossible light activity. It's light reaching into the depths of a covered hallway. This is a pattern of convex stalking with light. And that's the light source. And it's amplified audible activity. Crossing path, group stalking. All right, this is impossible light activity. That's also on the sidewalk. All right, so 1 second. I've got my browser there because I am currently uploading evidence onto the internet, which, again, the entity is interfering with. So I'm going to close out that's out of the way. I'll finish later. But I want you to see this I want you to see this light activity. While I'm inside of building 1808 North Alvarado Street, building 1808 North Alvarado Street, that which is the sun that's over 1808 North Alvarado Street in Los Angeles, California, is remaining over, as you see on video, after 4 p.m. because that fake sun still remains there. It's 4:04 p.m. and the entity is gang stalked by LAPD. LAPD is gang stalking just like the people that stayed at Woodside Senior Apartments are gang stalking. Okay.
This is impossible light activity. It's light reaching into the depths of a covered hallway. This is a pattern of contact stalking with light. And that's the light.
So I want to be clear. First of all, what you see over the parking lot over Alvarado Gardens is not that which is in alignment with me, causing any of this light activity, shooting, causing, it's while it's over Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens, where it was even this morning on video at 9 o'clock, the same property over my head. I work and live at the same apartment complex, didn't leave, documented the fake sun all day. It's not creating any sunlight. The sun is not in any position to create any sort of horizontal light. It's not aimed on Tracy Banks's patio door. This is not the natural environment. It's not creating any light in the shade that appears and disappears on the bedroom wall. It's not creating any sunlight that would frame the bedroom, the front door. It's certainly not that which is going to create any sort of light activity while it's over me at Alvarado Gardens, and that's where the LAPD is stalking. And you're looking at, again, I want you to see this. This is why I capture this, so that you can see how powerful the evidence is when you look at it at the same time. And it defies common sense what Satan has done in order to prosecute the demon-possessed who are stalking and hunting down American citizens. This, what you see here through closed blinds, creating engineered light on the wall inside here, which is speaking to the fact that I'm being kept under surveillance, the fact that demons know when my panties are down inside of a private space, constitutionally protected, where the government has no warrant or probable cause to maintain such surveillance, which is evident through this maintenance of engineered light and the stalking behavior by the government, like the LAPD were doing in the same specific environment, which is within a pattern of conduct. That's what's happening in Ontario. This is not over the parking lot at Alvarado Gardens, piercing through these blinds. This, what is over Alvarado Gardens while LAPD is flying over my head at building 1806 in Los Angeles, California, is not aimed in alignment with Tracy Banks' patio door at Woodside Senior Apartments in Ontario, California. And this is also the same apartment. You also know that it's not the sun because this fake sun remains here all day long, okay? All day long, from morning until evening, because this is the same position where it maintains until after 4 p.m., where the fake sun is also then setting. And you also know that this is the case because I documented this fake sun on this day in 2024 after 4 p.m. where LAPD engaged in gang stalking again on video.
Light source.
Let's look at that again.
This is impossible light activity. It's light reaching into the depths of a covered hallway. This is a pattern of contact.
The light, the sun that you see outside of Tracy Banks's patio glass door in perfect alignment with me, which is the evidence of stalking by a population and a corrupt government, is not creating any sunlight inside of the hallway of building 1808 North Alvarado Street in Los Angeles, California, 90026. That's not sunlight. That's directed light, the evidence of criminal surveillance by the government, who was engaged in what is the identification, the probable cause for the feds to investigate and prosecute the state for federal group stalking and monitoring, the entity gang stalking by helicopter, like I documented.
That's stalking with light, and that's the light source. That's amplified audible activity, crossing path, group stalking. All right, this is impossible light activity. That's also on the sidewalk.
And the entity
that's impossible light activity. That's on the
gang stalking by helicopter in Los Angeles is the same entity that the demon in unit number 55 is gang stalking with right now. And that's why she's going to a mental asylum. All right, the demon possessed who are very highly mentally severed are under the false impression that engaging in psychological torture, which is audible activity that the federal prosecutor is literally listening to it and happening and also documenting in real time, is going to stop the federal prosecutor, who is literally, I'm the only one that's impervious to the tactics of Satan. That's why I'm breaking down all of Satan's tactics to you. But only a mentally unstable person, and I want you to see the mentally unstable. You need to see what the demon possessed does. You need to see what's wrong with the demon possessed, what Satan does to people. And this is a person that is mentally unwell, who is beating around inside of the apartment above my head as I'm capturing damning evidence, and I'm showing you her double chin. I'm showing you her crow's feet, her peroxide dyed hair. I'm showing you the fact that she is stalking in real time under this fake sun while she is living where she stalks. It's the absolute most pathetic existence ever. This is a demon possessed gang stalker who is mentally unwell, and that's why she practices that which is psychological torture against another human being. That's a psychopath. Okay, and this is one that is inclined to engage in murder, engage in rape, engage in pedophilia, engage in sex trafficking, engage in voyeurism, that which is, again, deriving pleasure gratification out of the suffering of another human being. And this is what represents the government, because this is what is maintaining presence on behalf of the government inside of Unit 55 and inside of all of the units where the fake sun is over me at the same time in Los Angeles, which is where LAPD was flying over my head. Where you're seeing the fake sun at the same time? This is what LAPD was doing, gang stalking, okay? Under a fake sun.
That's also on the sidewalks.
Doing so in a manner that is irreconcilable with nature and continuously threatening. LAPD is gang stalking with the people of the state at Woodside Senior Apartments in the same way that Ontario is gang stalking with the LAPD. They are the same entity, and the demons that are living at Woodside, while I'm showing you impulsive light activity, this is not sunlight that's occurring while the sun is stationary over Alvarado Gardens in Los Angeles. And never does any sunlight occur within the dark while blinds are closed and then disappearing 5 minutes later. That is the pattern of conduct, however, of what is a demon-possessed entity that's monitoring evidence, knows exactly what's been captured, but they're also intellectually inept, and that's why you hold Satan down to the evidence that you capture, because Satan is a liar. All right, and this is the evidence that Satan is a liar, evidence that would otherwise be a matter of what was a matter of my word against a bunch of lying demons, gang members who established mental illness by virtue of their false testimony. Okay, by their bearing false witness. That's how they prosecute for crimes, by bearing false witness in the state of California, where they're engaged in gang stalking. This is what makes up the Ontario Police Department, that's gang stalking with the demons that live in units 33 through 64 who are going to prison. So again, on ongoing evidence that's going to present against them, all of them that live in units 33 through 64, they're going to prison. This is criminal obstruction of justice. These are those who are intellectually inept, and they are unprepared to be federally prosecuted for their practicing of witchcraft that's designed to psychologically torture someone in order to murder and kidnap them. They are engaged in an ongoing ceaseless pattern of conduct that is designed to obstruct justice, and that's why they're going to federal prison for even longer. And the demon Tracy Banks and the demon in Unit 55, license 5 WUB 715, they're both going to mental asylums. And the entity is ceaselessly engaged in the violation of the Violence Against Women Act, stalking me in violation of what are the HUD regulations that govern this property, this HUD regulated property. And I'm showing you the specific environment that is also relevant to the evidence, the unprecedented means of violating the Violence Against Women Act, and they shall be prosecuted for stalking under 34 USC section 12291, and also federal stalking under 18 USC sections, federal stalking, Title 18, Section 22618, subsections 1 and 2 as well. This is federal group stalking and monitoring, which is criminal surveillance that the government is maintaining. That's why the government is gang stalking me at Woodside Senior Apartments in helicopters. That's why the government is gang stalking me in helicopters by the LAPD in Los Angeles under a fake sun. And you can compare the two environments, and the two are not happening at the same time, but the two that are both scientific phenomenons are speaking to what is a pattern of conduct by also those who share a condition, and they also act with an intent to psychologically torture in order to obstruct justice, and that's why they're going to prison for that. So I want to make sure that it's clear. The demons that were documented, gang stalking in helicopter, it's not just Ontario PD that's worthy of federal prison. I have many of these demons' names and badge numbers as I encountered them because they kidnapped me, okay? The LAPD is also subject to federal prison. They are also engaging in conduct worthy of disbanding. The only difference is that LAPD, the specific agency, even though they are the same entity, they have not engaged in kidnapping, okay? But they did engage in kidnapping because the entity kidnapped on behalf of the entire state. But again, Ontario Police Department is being disbanded based on the previously documented criminal acts of obstruction of justice, including kidnapping and exercising fictitious authority under laws that they have no authority under because they're gang stalking. They are engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring. They are engaged in domestic terrorism. And their whole entire corrupt system has been fully exposed. And while they engage in a kidnapping in order to further torture and terrorize and criminally obstruct justice, that is the one who is exposing it because of my documentation, not because I ever broke any law. You document any gang stalking police officer by license plate, standing on what is they would like to claim as public property, because that's exactly what I did. And they engaged in what is an obstruction of justice by putting their hands on me, harassing me, saying anything to me. They went farther than that. They kidnapped me and then manufactured criminal charges and then manufactured a diagnosis for mental instability. That's why the demons of the Ontario Police Department are being disbanded, and that's why many of those demons are going to federal prison, and they are to date continuously accumulating time in federal prison. But I want to be clear, the demons that I documented gang stalking day and night at LAPD, they're also worthy of federal prison. They have not, it's not been forgotten. Like, because I move away and because these demons move out of their apartments, this is not avoiding federal prison, and justice requires that, and the federal government shall not be so short-sighted, especially having delayed justice for so long. So I want to make sure that I made that abundantly clear as well. It is currently 4:13 p.m. This is where the fake sun is remaining. The fake sun remains right here. The upright shadows of the patio furniture. The impossible light that's appearing on the couch and on the walls right here. This is the same light activity that you see in the dark when Tracy Banks is gang stalking me and monitoring me in my sleep. She's a witch. She's a witch. She practices witchcraft. She spiritually attacks me. And I rebuke her in the name of Jesus while I'm prosecuting her in the physical. She's going to a mental asylum for the rest of her life. She's gang stalking with the city of Ontario. She doesn't have a right to even live here while she's engaging in that unprecedented act of terrorism in the state of California with an American government. All right. It is currently, again, 4:14 p.m. This is P.O.C.